It's the National Australian livery for the 2012 London Olympic Games. It's the Qantas Boeing 747 with the boxing Kangaroo livery.
This could be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.
Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Review, where today we will be taking a closer look at the Qantas Boeing 747-400 in the boxing Kangaroo from Herpa wings in the 1 to 500 scale. Before I start this review, make sure you like and subscribe to this video, and also hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my latest videos. On the front of the box with the normal Herpa box with the Qantas and Herpa wings branding. Moving on to the back of the box, we have a photo of the livery. We also have a bit of information about the aircraft. We also have the limited edition printed on the side, and we also have some information about why this livery was made. And now here she is, the Qantas Boeing 747-400 in the boxing Kangaroo livery. But before we take a closer look at this aircraft, let's take a look at what this aircraft did for Qantas. This aircraft, with the registration code Victor Hotel Oscar Juliet uniform, was delivered to Qantas in January 2000. Then in 2010, it got transferred into the One World Special livery, where it stayed in there until July 2012, where it got changed into the Spirit of the Olympic Team livery, which was there until May 2014. And then in 2019, at the end of the year, it was retired and was given to Rolls-Royce North America. Without further ado, let's take a closer look at this model. Starting off at the back of the plane, on the tail fin we have the Qantas logo with a little bit of added spice to it, with some boxing gloves on the Kangaroo, which match the theme of the aircraft's livery. Moving up the plane, we have the rear doors, as well as the full registration code of the aircraft and the nation of the aircraft, which is Australia, as well as the rear cargo doors if you look a little bit further down. Then over the wings of the plane, we have the Spirit of Australia team printed on the side, as well as the emergency exit doors, which could have had a little bit more detail. We also have the specification of the aircraft, which is the Boeing 747-400. Moving up the plane, we have the Qantas printed on the side of the plane, which is very nicely printed indeed. And moving up the plane a little bit more, we have the Kangaroo, which is what this livery was about. Then we have the name of the aircraft, which is Long Range. And then at the very front of the plane, there is a lot of detailing to the cockpit windows, which have, again, a lot of detail. Moving on to the wings of the plane. This in the plane could have had a little bit more detail, especially because this is a limited edition from Herpa Wings. I was expecting a little bit more detail, especially with the emergency exits. But if you look closely, you can see all the flaps, slabs and spoilers carved out very nicely indeed. Moving on to the underside of the wings, you can see the full registration code of the aircraft, as well as the Herpa branding, and there's a lot more detail on the underside of the wings. Moving on to the engines, there could have been a little bit more detail with the engines. Again, because this is a limited edition, I was expecting a little bit more detail. But if you look closely inside the engines, you can see the engine fan blades. Moving on to the wheels, this is where Herpa have done a very good job with this model, with a lot of attention to detail to the wheels of the plane, especially with the back landing gear. Moving on to the front landing, again, a lot of detailing to the wheels. If I was going to be picky, I would have probably wanted the last three letters of the registration code on the just under the fuselage of the plane where the front landing is, but that is a very picky point. Now that's it, let's head to the summary. Moving on to the summary, like always, we are judging the model of 4 key elements I believe make a good model. The first being box. On the front of the box, there isn't very much to see here that's different from other boxes, but if you move on to the back of the box, there is a lot of information about the aircraft's livery and history. That's why I give the box a 4 out of 5. Moving on to the mould of the plane, Herpa's mould for the Boeing 747-400 is really good. Pictured here, you can see the difference between the newer Boeing 747 mould and the older Boeing 747 mould of the British Airways plane, and you can see how good the difference is. That's why I give the mould for the Boeing 747-400 of Qantas a 4 out of 5. Moving on to the detailing of the plane, there is a lot of detail you can see with this plane, with even a little bit of detailing on the top half of the plane near the cockpit windows, but if you go further back there isn't as much detailing, which would have been nice. Also on the wings and the engines there isn't very much detailing, which if you look to the real life image there is a little bit of detailing, which again would have been nice to see. That's why I give the detailing for this model a 2 out of 5. Moving on to the realism of the model, apart from the fact there isn't much detailing on the wings and the engines, there isn't really too much to fault here, with the colours looking very good, and also the boxing Kangaroo is in the right position. That's why I give the realism a 4 out of 5, which gives the total score for this model a 14 out of 20, which is pretty good. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button down below, and if you're new around here and you like the content I produce, either check out one of my other reviews or subscribe to my channel so you never miss any of these updates. But without further ado, that's HB Aviation signing out for now.